The 24 teams have finally made it through the RMR, and while 8 teams have secured the Legend stage, we're looking into the 16 others. Opening round, here we come. Let us begin. It's about time you got back. All you had to do was get rid of the IGL you never listened to and launch skulls into the sun and magically replace them with JKS and a kid from Tier 3. To be fair, Ultimate's been the surprise of the year and will probably win Rookie of the Year and Most Improved Player of the Year. JKS, meanwhile, has been kinda there. Inconsistent to start his tenure with Liquid. But don't look now, as he's finally been on a bit of a run at the best possible time. And then there's Naf and Twists. Dear God, have mercy on the souls of whoever have to face this two-headed dragon. They've been dynamic together, both having a 115 plus rating, an 80 plus ADR, and a DPR of a .60 or better? This is a legitimate argument. This is the best tandem in the world involving an IGL and a rifler. But one thing's got my mood soured. Yakindar. What the fuck? Don't even look at his full year in 2024. Those stats are fraudulent at worst. A .93 effing rating and you're not even an IGL? Congratulations, you beat the piss out of Crew and you think you deserve a cookie for that. Facing Tier 1 teams, you just disappear? You were hailed as one of the best fraggers in the game and now look. You're a shell of what you once were. Jesus. So what's it gonna be, Liquid? You going 3-0 and be the pride of NA? Or are you gonna be 3-2 and be mid just like we think you are? Or are you gonna go full-on 0-3 Loquid for the memes? Because if it's the third option, we won't stop laughing at you for all eternity. Jesus. NA's gonna NA. How many steroids did you take, MiBR? No, seriously, this team is actually good? Going 3-0 in the RMRs is one heck of an accomplishment, even if you took out Crew in Game 1. Beating Imperial and kicking Complexity out of a 3-0 record is dang impressive. And you all owe it to Insani and an underrated core. Good holy freak, Insani's earned that name for a reason. He's had an insane 2024. A 1.17 rating and an impact of a 123 and an ADR of an 81 plus. Just one problem. They haven't played Tier 1 opponents at all. And when they do, they get their ass kicked in. The proof being ESL Cattle 2024 where they placed last. And Falcons were in this tournament. No joke, they lost more rounds than whatever the frack that Falcons team was. So MiBR went 3-0, they have one of the best unknown players in the world, yet they're unpredictable against Tier 1 teams. Good luck, boys. You're gonna need it. How the actual frack did you get here? Okay then. Wildcard didn't just make the major, they straight up broke the mold and went 3-0. And though the NA RMR is a paper soft schedule, they beat the best of the best. A comeback of the ages against the freaking Team Liquid, beating Pain Gaming and torching 9Z like they owed you a kidney, Wildcard has looked nothing but dominant. With one of the best stories in Counter-Strike, Fizzy has been going through hell and back, playing for 3 regions in the past year and a half. But man, has he been going crazy this year. Heck, this team's been going crazy this year. JBA making a name for himself, Susp and Sonic putting in the work, and Daddy Stanislaw making it back to the major for the first time since Berlin 2019 with NRG. Half a decade and the NA Legend is back playing the biggest tournament of the year. The only problem? How are Wildcard going to do against proper Tier 1 teams? Heck if I know, but hey, they're a Wildcard team for a reason. And one heck of an underdog. We're rooting for you guys. Elite has returned. Thank effing God. If he missed this tournament, you know Complexity would have nuked the team. Not as bad as a certain green bird, but it'd be bad. But with a mulletless Hauser, Grim stepping it up, Floppy being Floppy, and JT rounding out this roster, this team is looking like 3-2 written all over it. Either that, or Elise turns into Nico mode and drags the team kicking and screaming to the next stage 3-0. Still, Complexity is just kinda mid? They have the talent to get to the next stage, but I gotta ask, who apart from Elise is going to take them to the next level? Hauser can do it and has been good these past 3 months, but do you see championship levels of performance this major? I have my doubts. Prove me wrong and don't Jerry Jones it up like he's done with the Cowboys. Holy shiz, has that been a laughingstock. All we know is pain, and soon the stage will know the meaning of that. With Big Zero being one of the best fragging IGLs, a Prodigy and Snow, and a good core chemistry around this team, Pain could make some noise this round. The only problem? Experience. Yes, they've made the major before, Snow being the exception to this, and they did make it to stage 2 of the Copenhagen Major. But facing tier 1 teams, Pain need to step it up. They're facing the best of the best, cream of the crop teams. Do they have what it takes to get to stage 2? Yeah, but then what? Getting your a-hole stomped in by Spirit, G2, and Na'Vi? You need to put up a fight. This is the 4th major Pain's been in, and losing in the opening stage is no longer an option. It's time to bring the pain. Otherwise, you'll be the one who knows what true pain is. Get it done. So you guys made it back? Congrats. But are you planning on staying longer than your last major? Beating Virtus Pro then losing 3 straight isn't exactly what you had in mind, now is it? Sure, it was Spirit, Vitality, and FaZe Clan, but this is the major after all. You can't let your guard down and expect to make it to the elimination stage. Imperial, you have to step your game up to the max. And with Descenti, Phelps, and your new addition to Tri, you do have some promising players. Tri being your new opper, he came in from 9Z. And claiming sweet, sweet revenge, he made it and his former team didn't. Now's his chance to prove Imperial made the right choice. Keeping a 1.11 rating with a 0.60 DPR and a KPR rating of a 0.71, he doesn't scream elite, but solid. So while I don't think anybody has the Brazilian team winning the major, I could see the boys making some noise. Just one thing, Imperial. Don't you dare make the same mistakes you made in Copenhagen. If you do, we may never trust you again. Should you get back to the major again? My bet is you have another one in you.
Well, look who's back from the brink. Furia is here to haunt every Brazilian's nightmares with another lackluster performance at a major. Sure, he sold the number 1 seed for the opening stage to Mongolz somehow, and we'll get to that later. But I think everyone that's been paying proper attention to the RMRs and even CS in the last 3 months knows it's been nothing but failures, fuck-ups, and close calls. Pro League was Jekyll and Hyde, winning against shitty teams and crashing the fuck out against anyone who actually knew how to fucking play. You then go to home turf in Rio, beating the best team in the world, only to crash out again in the semis, mirroring your major back in 2022. Haven't you caused enough pain to your home country? Don't get me started on the RMRs. OT lost the legacy, then dropping the Liquid in what could only be described as a series where only one team showed up in the server each map. Then squeaking your wiggly way in after having to play a 7th place decider match. Yet that equates in Valve's head to give you the number 1 seed. Because reasons. The reason you were able to keep this shit-ass team afloat is pretty much just K Serato putting the team on his back map after map. No fucking thanks to Fallen. Yeah, I'm calling you out, motherfucker. Put the op down. You were fantastic player in your prime. Don't get it twisted. There comes a time in every player's life where they got to take a step back and let some new blood take the mantle. Become a coach if you want to stay in the CS Pro team. I don't give a fuck. But you are past your prime and in the way. So after this major, when the team inevitably crashes out again, take a look in the mirror and do what's right.
After years of trying to make it to the major through the RMRs, it's finally happened. Beating Talent and GR to get their first ever major, you've been immortalized in CS history. Summer, Kaze, and Somebody returned to the major for the first time since 2019. Li Hong and Child King have finally cemented their names, and the Rare Atom sticker's gonna look insane. Just one small thing. Did anybody see this coming? And that's the problem. No one sees you as a threat. Your best player that you have is Child King with a 110 rating, and the entire team seems middle of the pack at best. Look, I'm happy to see an underdog team, and I want you to do well. Just don't be disappointed if shiz hits the fan. Welcome to the major. Now show us you belong. The boys are back. Now can you please do something this time? You've been given another chance since your failure to make it to the Copenhagen Major with Greyhound. With INS going completely crazy mode, this is your chance. Even Vexite is having an amazing year, though his previous 8 events have been a bit inconsistent. In fact, the whole team has potential to make some noise this major. Alistair, Dexter, and crew can absolutely do something. And if they do, once again, fuck your pick'ems. Just one quick question, FlyQuest. How inconsistent are you going to be this time? You're going to try to make a comeback against Team Liquid only to lose at the final round again? Or are you just going to go 0-3 just to say, fuck it, we're out of here? I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I hope that you do make it. But FlyQuest, you need to answer. What's it going to be?
Mongolz. All right. Let me check my notes here. Number 5 in Valve World rankings. All right. First Asian team to win a LAN in 14 years. Pretty impressive. Generational Asian talent. I mean, that should be a lock for 7th. 7th? Volvo, what the fuck? Someone call the fucking police, because this was robbery with a deadly weapon. The weapon in question being pure, unadulterated idiocy. This is some fuck shit, and a perfect example of what I like to call BTB, or big team bias. Sure, they won a tier 1 event, which didn't have a single top 5 team in it. Sure, they crashed out in the group lower finals in Rio. You know, the games they won were teams outside the top 20 section of Hero. Okay, I see the issue now. Whatever, fuck you. I'm still going to call bullshit. This is a team that has done the seemingly impossible all year and should be rewarded for that. At the same time, we can't forget, this is an APAC team. They aren't fucking Na'Vi. At the end of the day, they will squeak through the elimination stage and promptly get battered and crash out 1-3 at best. They have minimal stage experience, even if, when I get proved wrong, a swift exit from the final stage they attempt, be it the elimination or champion stage, is sure to follow.
I don't know what to make of this team. On one hand, I'm ticked off you let go of one of the best teams you've ever had. Perfecto, Shiro, and Electronic all banished without a trace. Yet you went out and got a new team and made it? I don't know what witchcraft you put on the team, but I kinda like it. And to think you were potentially one game away from legend status. Maybe. Perfect World might have snatched it away even if you did win versus FaZe Clan, let's be honest. But this roster actually looks mighty decent on paper. Heavy God's been an absolute beast. A 116 rating and impact? He's been doing better than Electronic on Virtus. With Icy, Inters, Axile, and Boomich, this team can make it to the legend stage. They've put up fights to get here at 3-1. Kicking the daylights out of Sangul and Amiga, you edged out Sinners too. Yes, that might not be saying much, but they did have a close game against FaZe. Sure, it didn't go their way, but it shows C9 might not be in Clown9 territory. For now. Because so help me boys, if you lose 3 straight and get knocked out, you will pay dearly in memeage. Now get to work. In what world do you claw back from an 0-2 start and get here? How? Losing to Vitality and Eklat should have been the final nail on the coffin. But coming back and beating Unity, a destroyed Falcons team, and Sinners to make it here? That shows gusto. So now, this gritty team led by Slend, Flamus, and Volt are staring deep into the souls of the opening round. This team might be the biggest underdog team here, so long as you don't look at Passion UA. I mean, still, your team doesn't exactly scream winning the major. Heck, some of you are thinking they're not going to win a singular match. So do us all a favor. Go prove them wrong. The gods of Counter-Strike love chaos and picked you to make the major for a reason. Doesn't matter if Slend is your best player, you give them everything you've got. Prove everyone wrong, boys. Or at the very least, don't go 0-3. So, FNatic made it. Did anyone have that on their bingo card? Don't get me wrong, I like the roster and think they have potential. But to get to the major for the first time in the Counter-Strike 2 era just seems like a surprise. To be fair, they didn't face the toughest of foes. Still, they earned their spot in, and that cannot be taken away. With BlameF and Matty S leading this team, it's well-deserved. Those two are behemoths. On top of that, getting knocked from Apex was a pretty good choice too. And then there's the 2 old guards of Counter-Strike, Body and Crims. Back in their heyday, they used to be something special. Fighting alongside Kenny S and Olaf Meister, they've already made their share of majors. Now it's time to show they still got it. To be fair, we all see FNatic as an iffy team. Can they make noise? Yeah, I could see it. But most likely, it's a potential farewell tour to one of the greatest careers in Counter-Strike. So Crims, go out there and give them hell. It could very well be your last chance. The gods want chaos, so they choose Big Clan to go 3-0? Yet the organizers didn't play by the rules. Big Clan must be relegated to opening stage. Beating teams like Sashi Heroic and a scrappy Passion UA, Big Clan flexed their talents. One such is the resurgence of Sryson. The past 3 months for him have been fruitful. A 1.07 rating with a DPR of a 0.62 is mighty respectable. But the big surprise has been Crimbo? Dear Lord, has this man been on fire for the past 3 months. Reaching new heights, he's at a 114 rating with a DPR of a 0.59, and he's picked the perfect time to catch such fire. With JDC, Ridgen, and a veteran Tabson, this team has potential, and you have the perfect chance to do something hilarious. Please go 3-0 Big Clan and show Perfect World you do deserve that legend spot. Please. The ultimate chaos from the least likely 3-0 team? Think of the memes. This team has fallen off a freaking cliff. Congrats, you won 3 third-place finishers all year. Am I supposed to be impressed? You paid $1.5 million for Electronic, and it got you no closer to a title. It just seems like Electronic's taking a step backwards. In fact, screw it. The entire team's taking a step backwards. There just seems to be no symmetry here. No wins, no chemistry, Jame going full Jame time all the time, and now no legend stage. And with how you played, it's no wonder why. Losing to an unknown Passion UA doomed you from the start. You're lucky you figured it out and made it to the major at all. Facing TSM, 9 Pandas, and Sashi, of course you're gonna win against them. You got the easy way out. But don't worry, boys. If Jame and Virtus keep underperforming like they have, they won't limp into the next stage. More likely they'll whimper out of the opening round. So fix your chiz, VP. Now.
Where in the fuck did this team come from? Who do you think you are? Y'all got some serious fucking cojones to be in this major, considering who you had to play to get here. VP and Spirit wins? Big and Heroic taking the first map both times? Then 2-0ing Astralis. Who wanted your heads on a pike? What the fuck? Second ever LAN for 4 of the 5 players on this roster, backed up by major winning coach Kane. This is the perfect storm of a team to surprise anyone and everyone at the major. I guess when you have an owner who is a soccer star, it turns the team into certifiable world beaters. But now it's time to come back to reality, sad as it is to say. This team had a Cinderella run just to get here, and now the odds are out to light them up like the Salem witch trials. As much as I would love to see this team continue their run, the odds of them going to the next stage are slim to none now that they have to face teams outside of the EU. It's a whole new ballgame. They're about to face off against the veritable Bayern Munichs, Real Madrids, and Manchester Cities of the game. With an average age of just 19.8 across the entire team, they need to show more than just passion to get results. But we've seen weirder.
So that's the teams. Subscribe to see more chaos as I will be doing my pick'ems soon. And don't forget to like the video and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an epic day. Catch you in the pick'ems. I'm out. Peace.